No, I'm not.
Test test one.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
You're all set.
Okay. So if you don't mind, would you both just like state your names, please?
I mean, if you want, you don't have
My
to.
name is Nicole Chris, and I am a shelter outreach case manager for perception programs.
My name is Lucy Mangual. I'm a case manager for the Latino Outreach Program from Perception Program 2.
Would you mind just telling a little bit about your background experience with ex-offenders?
So I worked in our 28-bed residential facility for female offenders called Next Step, and the program is basically teaching the women skills and how to get back into society successfully. And they get a job, they have to save money, they learn how to budget. The goal is to get them into their own apartment and be able to, to function and live good. Your turn.
The same question?
Yeah, if you wanted to answer that one.
Well, I used to work with them before. Now they got their own case manager, but I used to help the clients getting ID, getting vouchers, and for Walmart through ABH, because sometimes when they get out, they don't have families, they don't have any money. Some of them can go to Wayne when they, give free clothes and stuff like that. But some of them really doesn't find anything in Wayne because they overweight, so it's not their size, it was nothing available for them. So we used to, and we still do that, helping with $50 gift card every 3 months, so they can help and get basic needs and like deodorant, hygiene products, and some clothes. Also helping, some of them I help with resume and help her go and get ready for interview or transport them or refer them to my experience with them. A lot of them came from Bridgeport area, Waterbury, the other side of the state, and they don't know even the community. So sometimes they get lost. So I have to explain it. Hey, you take the bus here. The bus pass after and stuff like that. Like basic stuff, but for them it's like a challenge because it's a new city and it's a new place for them.
And depending on how long they were away, depends on how they adjust too.
Yeah.
So if they're away for a year, it's different than if they're away for 17 years because they come out and everything. Think about it. They think it's like cassette tapes and, they didn't have internet. And now everything's on this phone. And it's hard for them to adjust.
Yeah.
But they do.
We get a client. I have to show her how to test because when she get her phone, she didn't know, and she was like, "How I do that?" We, teach her how to do that, like something so basic.
There's an even here. Do we just give that envelope? I don't know.
Hopefully you can edit.
Yeah. Oh, I can edit.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it won't just be you guys on the camera. Like I'm editing like pictures and like some other
Okay.
video stuff. So it's
Cool.
just you.
Okay.
Did you say what your job entailed?
Yeah,
I guess
I
so.
was gonna just ask that question. If you didn't already talk about it a little bit, what does your job entail?
Okay. In general, all the clients that we serve. Well, mine main focus is the Latino, population in this town because it's like, like I think like 94% is Latino population in Willimani and Windham County. So my main concern is to help them transportation if they want to look for a program which is detox, rehab, after they need it and want to. Some of my clients they can volunteer. Some of my clients are referred by Department of Correction. Some of them are referred by probation parole, and so we just provide assistance through ABH to helping with first security deposit, monthly rent, the also gift cards, helping with resume, helping to stay clean if they wanna they just come out of the jail. So we just refer to perception, they do intake and they stay with us. Some of them we help them with the housing, depend the individual's needs. So we try to helping, and they usually open like for 3 to 6 months. It's like them, the time frame that they stay with us until they get, situated.
Mine's really similar to what Lucy does, except I do a little more outreach, right? Or you outreach too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for instance, I do the 211 intake. So when they call 211 and they're homeless, we get their information and we try to get them into the right program that's going to benefit them the best. It's challenging because there's always waits and wait lists. So that means sometimes giving them a tent and a sleeping bag and setting them up in the woods, which is difficult, but it's better than not having something. And then, hopefully then, the wait list and they get the vouchers and they get what they need, and everything's different for each individual. It depends on what their need is. If they have more, like Lucy said, substance abuse or mental health, or if they have both. And we work with other agencies to help them get the housing that they need.
Yeah. We work with CCAR.
I volunteer.
Oh, you volunteer there? Yeah. We get referred from them, the shelter, and we do, and care community meetings every once a month, every third Thursday, or Tuesday, and we just share information about the clients. Any clients that we can assist them, and with somebody else in the community have another resource that we can benefit the client. So we expose the case. We don't mention the client's name. We just say a number, and we have to have a release, and then somebody else can help us with something. We just contact the client and the person.
Work as a team, because ideally is how they're more successful in finding good housing.
Give me 2 seconds of batteries. I have dead batteries.
Oh man, did you just not get all that? Because that was good.
I did.
No, I'm
It's-
just kidding.
It's on the, it's on the
I'm sure it's recorded.
I'm making Lucy hold the microphone.
I know,
She's good at it. And reporting live from Perception Programs, AIC building. Ava, did you? Okay, good. I told her to come a long time ago.
Call her when you're done, because she needs to look.
So what did you do at CCAR? You just
I sat in on the meetings, the recovery meetings, and then I also did the phone calls. And I helped people like with their resumes.
Oh, good. Did you like it?
I really liked it.
It's interesting,
Yeah,
right?
I went once a week. It was nice.
Good.
Sorry, it's
He can edit this.
I got you. Yeah, it won't be this straightforward.
Didn't work his magic.
All right, you guys are all set.
Okay. So what are some challenges that you encounter with ex-offenders when searching for housing for them?
Well, some of the housing usually they don't have income, and some of the housing properties here they don't take sex offenders, or they don't take people with felonies, and it's hard because we can that's the easy way for them to start from the bottom, and because they base in income, the rent. So if they can go there, it's very hard. Usually they got minimum wage pay, and it's very, very hard, to be able to pay a regular rent, with their income. So most of the time, they just can't find part-time. So if they disqualify for low-income housing, it's very difficult. And also, if they qualify, it can be like from 1 to 5 years waiting list. Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges is how long it takes, how many people are needed, and how long the waiting lists are for these programs.
The waiting lists are usually long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So they end up waiting like 5 years. And
Up to 5 years, and then when the number come out, they got bad and credit. Usually, with their substance abuse and mental health, they usually don't pay cell phones, so they got electricity bill on their name, and they can be, denied based on their credit history too. So that's something that go against them too.
And then the stigmatism of them having any type of criminal history makes it difficult because some people don't want anything to do with that, regardless of how old it is or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of goes into the next question with like the challenges you encounter with the landlords when searching for housing for the ex-offenders.
I think luckily though, you guys have built really good relationships with some of the landlords locally, right?
Yes, we have a very good rapport with the landlords. We have a few that they will give them a second chance. The only difficulty that we're having is, like Lucy said, if they are sex offenders, we have to be very careful because, where are we going to refer them? Because some of the times they can't, even though the landlord are okay with it, they have, families with children. We have a few landlords that are willing to, but that's because of the units. There's only single individuals living there, so then they're able to accommodate our clients. So I will say, like Lucy said, that, and the fact they have a felony if they they have charges for assault, and then we have families there. Landlords are very reluctant to give that person a chance.
Will the landlords look at the specific felony that they had and like kind of base it off of that? Like, for example, like being a sex offender versus like killing someone, or like the like how bad the crime was.
I understand. Yes, we had this situation with this one client. It was a situation where he was like 17. It was a consensual. So if it's something like that, and the girl was 15, so they look at those things. But if it was more like a minor, and an actual adult, they frown upon that, and they don't want to really deal with the population of the sex offenders. But a lot of them work with them. They always want to know if they're connected with services. A lot of our clients are connected with outpatient services or with a case manager. And when they know that, they're more willing to give that person a chance because they know we're going to be involved. We're going to be able to find resources within the Willimantic area. In this area, we refer people to, oh my God, we can access. We have Generations. We have Catholic Charities. We have WAME. We have Salvation Army. So there's so many resources that they can utilize to be able to pay their rent. So in this area, we're pretty much very blessed to have those resources. So we try to tell clients as much as we can, and we try to find the apartments that are affordable as well. We have landlords that are renting a one bedroom. They are like $600. And like Lucy said, and they have to pay for their own utilities, so that becomes a problem. So what we try to do is we try to contact the electric company and try to work a plan, and also contact WAME, Catholic Charities, to see if they can help with the bill, and that way they can. And there's a lot of resources. We always find a way to help them, but it's a challenge. They have to jump around a lot of hoops to be able to get there, but we try to be the cheerleaders and help them as much as we can. Yeah.
What are some qualifications that give a more probable chance for the ex-offenders to find housing?
That's a good question.
If they have a experience, like a extensive work history, a lot of them, if they've been incarcerated for a long time, that could be a challenge. But a lot of them, if let's say, you have to be very creative. A lot of them, where they're incarcerated, they are very active. They're cooking, so they can find jobs cooking, or they work in the kitchen washing dishes. They can find a job. They can put that in an application. Is how they put in the application. And we try to help them, train them how to do one interview so they can get that job, and they're more hireable. So, if the fact that they are working, I think the landlords are going to be more than willing to give them a chance, because if they have no income, they're not going to be able to pay, so they're not going to take that risk.
I think too, sometimes the individual could be a little more likable, like you know what I mean, the way that they present themselves, and if they're like confident, I think that gives them a little bit more of a chance too.
That's a good point. If landlords are like, oh, I don't know, well, how about if you meet him? Just meet him.
Yeah.
So we go and we make an appointment. They meet up and they hit it off. And next thing you know, they're talking about how you can fix this, and the landlord's like, oh, really? You can fix this? Oh, you can work for me. Yeah. A lot of landlords do that. They pay on the table, and they like the fact that they can have that, and the building people that can take care of their, the whole building. So it's a plus. So we try to be creative with landlords, and we have a great rapport with them. We have a whole list of landlords that we contact. We know who to contact depending on the person. We try to find a good match for them because we don't want to set them up, to fail.
Yeah.
So.
In what ways do housing issues affect the services that you provide?
A lot of ways.
For example, we have clients that unfortunately they only have an income of $219, which is called SAGA cash. It's cash they receive from the Department of Social Services. If that's their only income, really we have our hands tied because no landlord is going to be able to rent to that person. Doesn't matter how likable they are, it's going to be hard. And a lot of people who receive the $219 are people that are not able to work because they're trying to get Social Security disability benefits. So it's a challenge when we have people with very little income. So in that case, we refer people to places like Bethsaida, that's mostly for females, which is located in Norwich, Milner House, which is in Musab. We have our house here through Perception Programs, Perception House. So it's for people that are trying to get back on their feet. They receive mental health services. They receive a lot of support. Because sometimes our clients, when they come out of jail, it could be traumatizing for them in there. You never know what they went through in there. And they're not ready to start working. So adding work to their schedule could be more stressful. So that will, it will give them the opportunity to get the help they need and then, gain confidence, and then they can work towards that step.
And the clients that they can work, they don't receive SAGA cash, they also can qualify for ABH sober house for 2 months. And if they find a job while they're getting paid for those 2 months, they can have an extension and they can, receive the third month if they engage in services and they, looking for a job and doing the right thing. And I think that affect our services because it's hard. They even realize that the 211, that's why they want to house people even though they got some substance abuse, like they're still active users. They prefer to be housed because they realize when somebody have addiction and they got a house, it's more easy to stop using or control it versus when the person is in the street homeless. They want to house first, and that's why they call it housing first.
I think the amount of people that need housing services is one of the big issues. Would you agree? That there's so many people that are in need that's why those lists are so long, and the wait times for people in between is frustrating for them. And it's hard.
The clients themselves, they say, I will do better if I got my own housing, and how you can stay clean and do it everything if you sometimes in weekends. Well, we lucky we got the shelter no freeze that they open Monday through Friday from 1 to 4 for business, use the phone and shower, but in the weekends they don't have a place to go when the shelter is closed. And it's hard to stay clean, sober when you don't even have clean clothes, or you call or you sleep it outside.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Is there any information that we have not talked about that you feel is important for people to know?
More housing, more opportunities when people came out of jail, and like maybe as a match, and some other places they do that. I think with parole that they the state will engage with the client and say I match you paycheck, and so people places like Walmart give them more opportunities because it's gonna be a vicious cycle. They come out of jail, they don't have any job, they don't have anything, so they don't have housing, no money. They come in another crime because they just. I got one of the clients, they just steal batteries for his radio because he was outside, and toothpaste, simple stuff. Maybe if we match and find a small little job, they will be able to keep it together.
I think if more people continue to donate to the shelters or to things like toothpaste and stuff like that, that would be a good help. You think about what does a tube of toothpaste cost, right? You buy a coffee every day, that's $2.50, and that's like 2 tubes of toothpaste for somebody that doesn't have it, and it's a big deal. I think more of that support, and just being a little bit more compassionate. People are not compassionate enough, or empathetic, I guess the word is,
Yeah.
where they see somebody and they automatically think it's one thing, and it's not necessarily always the case, right? We have a wide variety of clients,
Yeah.
from people that had everything you could want and traveled the world, to people that, you know, have had issues since they were kids. I mean, it's not just one type of person. I think that's a big stigma that's out there.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in the last 6 weeks I've been in this role. I've met a lot of really good people. So providing support, going to the soup kitchen, like all those little things that we all think, oh, you know, I think it makes a big difference, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
Like they, you know, even when like Lucy goes down there, they love that because they just see that people care. That's sometimes all they need. And would you say more housing and quality of housing and quality of support services? Other than that, I don't know.
Is there a place where they can come and donate items, or just is it?
They could donate to the soup kitchen, to Wames,
What's wings?
When
Faith Interministry. Is that what it is? Wames?
Wyndham area interface.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's located
Main Street.
right on Main Street. Do you know the
Yeah.
address? Because I don't.
It's a Main Street. No, exactly. No, the
What
others.
exactly is it?
They got a program that they help people with clothes, use clothes. They help persons to get ID. They need ID. They also have a program that they help with utilities and the gas and the power.
Housing.
And a little bit of housing.
They have furniture, dishes, backpack. I mean, they have everything.
And they have a whole closet. It's for people who are trying to go for a job interview. And they can go in there and just get whatever they want. Once a month.
And you know, like I just said, every little, when you clean out your closet, if you think about it as a girl, right? When you clean out your closet and you make the bag and you dump it in the box, wherever, you could just bring it down there and you know it would be going to your community.
And it's free.
And it's free for them, right? They don't charge them, which is the nice part.
They should advertise that more because I feel like a lot of people don't know. Like I didn't know about
I didn't know
that.
either.
And like a lot of college students.
And it
other
help people that are homeless. They all the time they can wash sometimes, so they go there and get clean clothes because they got a voucher from the shelter, but it's every 2 weeks that they can do laundry, one load. Imagine like one load every 2 weeks, and if they're homeless, they don't have any place to place their clothes. So most of the clothes are gonna be dirty. So sometimes they go there and pick up some clothes, and they can, go through the week with clean clothes.
Yeah, there's anything else that you wanted to add, or
Oh, I think we did. I think we all said pretty good answers and
Yeah.
about
you're
everything.
definitely thorough. It was good.
I mean, I think it's just like I said. I think more people supporting and doing those little things will make a difference for the people that are waiting.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part that I notice is the waiting part.
Yeah.
Because they get hopeless and frustrated.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, especially when it's cold out.
Yeah, because it's only one shelter, and they supposed to accommodate like 35 beds, and sometimes last winter was 45, 55. And if they don't have a bed, they just sleep in the floor on chairs, and it's only open from when it's really cold, November 1st to April. So the rest of the months, of the year, they sleeping outside in a sleeping bag
Or a tent.
tent or outside. So it's not easy for them.
It is a good idea about Weems. Maybe you, because you were doing something, I would get a flyer.
Yeah.
Right? They have flyers, right?
Yeah, they
That
do.
you could like
they do.
They
bring.
have a lot of programs there.
Because like she said, I didn't know either, and I've
Yeah.
lived in Franklin my entire life, and I never knew anything
That
about
would've been
Weems.
So helpful, because I just was helping my grandmother clean out her house, like my grandpa's old clothes before the mess. And I could have brought those there. Like I donated them to a consignment store, but
Right.
And because they're gonna resell it here, it's for free, and the
Yeah.
people that really need it will
Right.
use it.
Right.
they were suits and stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
I wish
nice stuff, but
I,
now you know, and
Yeah.
you can share with people, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
That's why we're doing this.
Every
Okay,
time I go
that's
through
awesome.
my closet, it doesn't matter if it's this big or this big. I always make a bag and my kids or whatever, and I just drop it off.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is drop it off, and that's it. They just take it.
And also now in Thanksgiving they help people with turkeys and Christmas they pick up some families in the community that are really in need and they help with toys, clothes and stuff that they need. And also when the school is about to start, they do back to school activities. You have to show the kids' grade and birth certificate, and they provide you with a gift card from Walmart to get an outfit.
For
And
uniforms.
yes, uniforms. And I think one T-shirt they give you like a voucher, and you can go to the school and buy 2 T-shirts. For the kids got a new outfits when the school start.
Yeah, they're definitely resourceful.
Alright, well thank you so much for
Yes,
meeting
thank
with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's definitely like really helpful information for people to know.
Especially if you guys work here, decide to stay in this area.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good to know the resources so you
Yeah.
guys can refer out.
If you guys go to 211, if you go